From August 1987 to October 1988, Nik Kershaw was recording his fourth studio album in Los Angeles with producer Peter Wolf at Can-Am Recorders in Tarzana. The recording process took 4 months, but when Nik returned home to England, he listened to the album again and discovered that he hated it. He also described the works as the collected works of Nik Kershaw, which is ironic considering he said he doesn't even like any of the songs on that album. He quickly wrote 2 more songs and teamed up with Julian Mendelsohn to redo most of the album to a point where he was happier with the end result. Nik said that the works was the nail in the coffin because he had spent quite a bit of money on recording, and after coming home, he found out his A&R and managing director had been replaced by people that didn't know him well or much about his past. And right after his support tour for Elton John, he found out the MCA didn't even want to promote the album, and then after the works, he would not be renewed to the label. His publishing and management also expired at that same time. But back to the works. Those 2 songs that Nik quickly wrote were One Step Ahead, his lead single for the album, and When I Grow Up, which was the B-side to that single. The single was released in January 1989. The song charted at number 55 in the UK charts and continued to stay there for 2 weeks. Now, I will be giving my thoughts and opinions on this album. Track 1, One Step Ahead. This song sounds very funky and has a very catchy bass riff and chorus, and that may be due to the chorus being in C# minor with that major subdominant, and I will vaguely be touching on some of the music theory elements with these songs, but I don't know much about music theory, so I'll let the professionals handle that aspect. Please go check out Jonas Wolf Music's video about all the crazy key changes in all of Nik Kershaw's music, but I digress. This song has a music video that features Nik in some sort of factory donning an all-black tuxedo and a slick-back ponytail, presumably to give off a more mature vibe, so he would stop being seen as a teen idol. I think this song describes someone who tries their hardest at everything they do and aims to be better than everyone else, or better than someone else in particular. It definitely does not sound like any of the other songs on this album, and it also has an industrial remix, but I couldn't find it anywhere online. This song gets an 8 out of 10. Track 1A, When I Grow Up. This song has a level 42 sound to it, but you can tell it's a Nik Kershaw song. I really hate comparing Nik to other artists because I've noticed a lot of Nik Kershaw fans do it, and if I have to be a little rude, I don't want to take away from what Nik has done. But I feel I should point out the similarities. This is an analysis video after all. I believe this song is about someone, maybe a kid, having not so good parents and maybe a harsh upbringing this child has had, that's taught them how not to act in life. The lines, "Don't know when I've got it good," and "Won't love the way you love," I think is evidence to support my theory. This song gets a 4.5 out of 10. Track 2. Elizabeth's Eyes is the second and last single on the works, and has My Friend John as the B-side. Elizabeth's Eyes is based on a true story about 2 individuals who communicated via letters. Willie Darden was an American convict who was on death row for 15 years, the longest death row inmate at the time in the US, and wrote back and forth for the last 12 years of his life to Elizabeth Allen of Essex, England. She was just about his only contact to the outside world. They never met, and Willie was executed on March 15, 1988 and pronounced dead at 7:12 a.m. Many people believed he was innocent and did not rob or murder Carl Truman, but there was a point before that in his life where he was in and out of prison for assault, theft, forgery, and even attempted rape, which he was on a 20-year furlough for. I don't think he knew about that part of the story. I can't imagine that Willie Darden was the talk of the town back in England in the day. So, I guess this song hasn't aged well? Here's some fun facts for you. I transcribed the entire extended version of this song into a MIDI file, and I think this song has a Yamaha DX7. And again, I do hate to mention it, but this song and Nikita by Elton John kinda sound similar to me. This song has the extended version and the club dub, which is basically just the instrumental but remixed with a few vocal lines. This song also received a music video which shows Nik standing in a huge open space with a big wall behind him. I assume it's supposed to be a prison cell, with light occasionally shining down on him. Here he is donning a white button-up shirt that he tucked into his jeans, and he's wearing some slick, fancy black shoes, and his hair's down. So much for trying to drop that teen idol look, Nik. I'd give this song a 7.5 out of 10. Track 2A. My Friend John is the B-side to Elizabeth's Eyes. It starts off with this funky bass organ sound, I couldn't find any lyrics online, so I had to listen to it a few times to get a general idea of what Nick's singing about. I gathered that this friend John has done something bad, because I think the chorus says, "The price is on my friend John," and the line that says, "maximum aggression at the wheel of his sedan." That's the first chorus. So I think John might be a getaway driver of some sort. Either way, the song doesn't sit right with me. I've always liked it, but the build up to the chorus isn't very satisfying. It's like it just builds up to go back down. I think the chord right before the chorus is an A minor 7, and the chorus chord is a D7. I don't know, it just doesn't flow right to me, but so for that I give the song a 4 out of 10. Track 3, Take My Place. This song has a groovy bass line and a smooth drum pattern, and the chorus starts off pretty early into the song. Now I'm not sure what to think of this song, but there is someone who does have a good idea of what it means. Morgan Weidinger says, the title of the album could be interpreted as the end, a possibility supported by the lyrics on the track Take My Place. So you should go check out her new album that she just released and read her blog about the works and all of her other stuff. She's amazing. So this song gets a 4 out of 10. Track number 4, Wounded Knee. I believe the title of the song is a play on words about the Wounded Knee massacre that took place on December 29th, 1890, where the United States Army killed nearly 300 Lakota, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Native Americans. This song starts off with a pretty synth key and has a nice bass line, and describes how the white men came in to America and took over with the lines, "Long came a white man who saw the milk and honey, now we're making do while he's making all the money," and "Long came a white man with attitudes and axes, now we're doing overtime and paying lots of taxes." And last but not least, "Long came a white man from the civilized nations, now he ain't having second thoughts, but we've got reservations." I love how Nick told a story with this song, and it's very catchy, it has nice sounds, and I love the historical meaning behind it. All that together brings me to give it a 7 out of 10. Speaking of historical meanings, track number 5 is titled Cowboys and Indians. It starts off with a fast key change in the opening, so you can't even tell that Nick put an awkward chord in there. And how the chorus ends a semitone higher than when it began, and then wraps around to the key you started with. I could be wrong there, and if so, please correct me, but either way, Nick is a songwriting genius. I can't get a good idea of what this one's about, but he mentions the Sundance Kid and Jesse James, and how he says, "We'll play Cowboys and Indians." It might be something about how someone wants to do bad or be a criminal, and when he says, "Another shot, another holler, another bullet, another dollar, another day," could be referencing that this person lives a boring everyday life and wants to break free from that and do bad, with Cowboys and Indians in this instance meaning our character versus the law. This song gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Track 6, One World. This song is interesting. It was supposed to be released as a third single to the works, but MCA had already dropped Nick by the time the album released. It is a slow song with slight industrial sound and a banging guitar solo. There's not much action going on here, but it is catchy, and the chorus is nice with how it falls. I also can't grasp what this song is about, but I think it might be about God's perspective of what's happening on Earth. But the line, "Sitting here feeding all these numbers into my machine," may contradict my theory, and the line, "I execute and they come dancing," supports my claim. This song was re-recorded to be released as a Japanese single, and the song was faster, more pop-like with many added instruments. It is only available on the Japanese CD and German vinyl version of the collection. The re-recorded version was covered by Chesney Hawkes for his album The One and Only in 1991. I give this song a 6 out of 10, and the fast version a 6.5 out of 10. Track 7, Don't Ask Me. This song was one of my all-time favorite Nik Kershaw songs, and that was due to the chorus and the wackiness of the words. I still love it, but I think this song was just thrown together as filler, with the lines "Oppenheimer's shoe size," "The weight of Colonel Sanders," and "Why they call he goats Billy" just sound like a bunch of random nonsense, like Nick had a catchy tune and just threw a bunch of words in to make a song. Sounds like another song he's made. Nick said he doesn't actually know what's going on when he wrote the album, so maybe these songs don't have meanings. But it sounds to me that the song has a nice organ solo, I think, and some brass, and a brilliant drum fill by Vinnie Colaiuta. I give this song a 9 out of 10. Track 8, Burning at Both Ends. I think this is definitely the weakest track on the album, but it's still great. It starts out with this catchy brass horn fill, I don't know what the musical term would be, and how that last chorus goes up by a semitone, classic Kershaw. It's beautiful, and I think the song is about someone who is judging and is rude to other people with the lines, "What's the matter with your face?" and "What's the matter with the way you talk?" I'm bad at interpreting the meaning of songs, but again, Nik said he doesn't know what these songs are about himself. So I give this one a 3 out of 10. Track 9, Lady on the Phone. The song sounds a lot like a Toto song, with some nice synths and the guitar in there, very catchy chorus. I think the song is about someone who just got into a breakup and isn't moving on yet and is very obsessed with his ex and wants to know who she's talking to. And the line, "Call me, I'll play your game," implies that our character is telling her that she can come back to him anytime. And the line, "I know you're not alone," suggests that he is stalking her, or perhaps he knows that she's already moved on and talking to other people. I give the song a 9 out of 10. Track 10, Walkabout. This is the last song on the album, and it's an interesting one too. The song is great when the C sharp minor transitions into the C, with so many other smooth key changes. And the E chord when he sings "Today," and how it pauses and starts back up at the A minor like nothing happened. The song is slow, with a bass, drums, light synth, and I think some acapella in there too with some nice drum pops. It's beautiful. As for what the song is about, I think it's about someone who has someone calling out to them because it's their time to go and they don't want to. Presumably the Grim Reaper will be calling out to them. And the line, "I hear someone calling me, oh no, this certain space is not your place to go. And I see someone standing there, go away, gone walkabout, not coming out today." I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Even if there isn't a meaning behind it, I'm glad that I can actually interpret a logical meaning and not just some, "oh well, it's nonsense." So, yeah, actually, I'll boost up to a 9 for that one. So that leaves us at the end. Overall, I think this is a very underrated album. It sounds so nice. It has variety in terms of sound and emotion, the 2 music videos are well done and aesthetically pleasing, and the 2 B-sides were a joy to listen to. It's disappointing that Nik doesn't play any of these songs live anymore, apart from Cowboys and Indians. They all have a unique vibe to them, and they all tell their own story, even if it doesn't make sense. With all the scores added up, this album comes out to 79 points. Definitely my favorite Kershaw album, and one that all of you should check out and give a listen to. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for whatever I may have next, and please leave your suggestions, thoughts, and opinions in the comments below. Thank you. Bye-bye.